Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Star Wars Guys YouTube channel where the Force is family. I am Master Paul, and I know this stream wasn't supposed to start for another half hour, but you know what? It's my stream. I can start it early if I want. Plus, I wanted to make sure that myself and others were there to catch other streams like Fight Me Fridays on X-Wing or Mustaches on Mustafar at 10. So we're starting early so we can get my stuff out of the way and be there for them. And right away, hello to Leia Rose, who said, "How do you like the movie, Paul?" I liked it pretty well. Not my favorite movie that I've seen, but I certainly, enjoyed it. And then Alan Copeland says, "Hello, how are you today?" So, we are talking about Predator. And I'm just going to this is going to be a really quick review. I'm just going to do it by myself. So, Predator, of course, was on the list of movies that I had never seen before. And I did something, by the way, very special with this. I tried to do this with Terminator, but it didn't work out as well as I would like. So I gave this another shot at the advice of Mexican Iron Man, where when I sat down to watch the movie, I filmed myself watching the movie and giving my reactions. So I have that whole video on my iPad here, and I'm going to edit it down to like an 8-minute or so video and release my reactions here. And then, who knows, maybe make one of the best reactions like a short clip unto itself. And Alan Copeland, of course, loves The Predator. So let's talk about it. So this was a 1987 movie starring Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers and Jesse Ventura. And it's about how Arnold leads this elite special forces team into the jungles of South America to rescue some very important hostages. But the mission goes entirely backwards when it's revealed that they're being stalked by this extraterrestrial hunter that enjoys hunting down humans for sport. And so pretty much the second half of the movie entirely, in fact, I'd say almost, so the first third of the movie is the way the mission was supposed to go. But even then you see the Predator kind of following them through the jungle. You see them through the night vision. You even see some of its past victims. But the whole second half of the movie is them going directly against the Predator. And, excuse me, prior to seeing this movie, I knew what the Predator was. I had seen the character before, and I had played it. I even played as the character in Mortal Kombat X as a DLC character. Excuse me. So, I knew who it was. I knew what it was that was stalking them. I just didn't know what the character was capable of until I saw this movie, and holy cow, is that thing deadly. And not only is it deadly, but it is gruesome too. Like, there are some truly, truly gruesome scenes in this movie, as Leia Rose said here. So let's talk. So the story itself, very simple story. Just basically humans trying to survive against an alien that's hunting them down one by one. At least that's what the story gets into once all the taking down terrorist part is over. And it's done pretty good. The characters, you have Arnold, you have Carl Weathers playing Dutch and Dylan respectively. And of course, by the way, this is the movie where that whole meme of Dylan, you SOB, and Arnold and Dylan, grabbing each other's arms like that, and you see their muscles bulging up a good 2 feet off their arms. That's where that came from. Both of them played their characters pretty well. This is not my favorite showing of either actor in this. I do believe they've played other parts very well, better than the ones that they had here. Like, for example, I think Arnold, this is probably in the bottom tier, at least for me, of Arnold characters that I've seen him play. And again, he did not do a bad job at this. I just happen to like other characters more, like the Terminator or the guy from Last Action Hero or Commando. And then Carl Weathers, I liked him better personally in Mando and as Apollo Creed. But again, he still does a good job in this movie too. And then, of course, Jesse Ventura, who, by the way, if you didn't know, is also a former WWE wrestler. And I believe he was governor of, I want to say, Minnesota. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But he was also governor in the 90s. And he was in this movie. And, of course, he was, well, I can't really, a hard A word, you know what I mean? In this movie, you know, he was the guy with the biggest gun, and of course he was the one that had the baddest attitude outside of Arnold himself. And again, he played that part really well. In fact, okay, so Alan Copeland said I was right. Yes, it was indeed Minnesota. So yeah, all the supporting actors were pretty good, but there was one character that really annoyed me. And I think it was Billy. No, it wasn't Billy. Billy was cool. It was Hawkins. The jokes that he made in this movie, I did not like those. And if you've never seen this movie, I won't say what it is here because, of course, this is a PG-rated channel, but he made jokes about women's genitalia, and that is not that's not for me. In fact, I said in my reaction video, you'll likely see it, that because of the jokes that he was saying and how forced he was making them, I hoped he died, and I believe he did in this movie. But anyways, like I said, all the characters, of course, were played great by their actors, including the leading lady playing, you know, at first the militant terrorist that's trying to get away from the group to this scared, oh my God, what monster did I just see, you know, sort of character, to being willing to help them take this thing down. So all of the human characters, like I said, good job. The Predator, whoever it was that designed that creature, from the costume to, you know, the overall look, to the face, to the mask, to the design of the weaponry and its purpose, great job. Like, seriously, 10 out of 10. I can 100% see how this character has pretty much survived up to now in one form or another in the media. Like I said, I first knew about the Predator from Mortal Kombat 10. And so obviously whoever made this character did something right if the Mortal Kombat games were willing to bring this character in as a DLC alongside the Alien and Leatherface and Jason in that particular game. Let's see. The action was, you know, pretty standard 80s action for an Arnold movie. Again, nothing bad I really have to say about it. There's just other movies that did very similar action that I happen to like more, like Commando, for example. I think the jungle fight or the Latin American village fight that Arnold undergoes in Commando, personally, that one entertained me a little bit more than the one here. But again, great job. And I will say this also, whoever it was that they brought in as like a special forces advisor, you know, showing different jungle warfare tactics and taught them to the actors, good job on that too, because that looked incredibly convincing, the way that they moved quietly through the jungle, the way they picked off the outer guards. And then of course it goes completely into Hollywood with Arnold picking up that truck off its jack and pushing it into the building only for it to explode. And then, of course, Arnold has his classic one-liners in this movie, like throwing a knife against the tree and being like, "Stick around," or things like "knock, knock." And then, of course, later on, he calls the alien, once he sees its face, one ugly MFer. So, like I said, great movie. Not my favorite one, but I think it did okay. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. I know this was incredibly short. In fact, I probably could have gotten away with making this a... All right, Action Com, yes, it was a pickup truck after all. But yeah, that's really honestly all I have to say about this movie. It was good. There's just other movies like it that I happen to like more. So we got to do this. We got to do this ceremonial here. So I'm going to bring up the list. Where's it at? Here it is. All right, so we're going to bring up the list. Predator was right here. And Predator is not on the list anymore. Give me a quick second. I'm going to bring up a different list. And we're going to rank this thing. So, where would I rank this movie? So, as we see here from the top, my favorite movie on the list that I have seen so far is Terminator 2. Least favorite is Matrix Reloaded. And yes, go crazy over the bottom 3 movies on the list. It's my opinion. Honestly, for this one, it's going to go at the bottom. This is not a bad thing that it's going at the bottom. Like I said, there's really nothing bad that I have to say about this movie other than the fact that I didn't like that one character's jokes. But out of what I've seen here, it interested me the least. So thank you guys for watching this. Like I said, I probably could have gotten away with making this a pre-recorded video instead of a stream, as short as it was. And of course, thanks again to the Matt Cave for sending me this movie and all the other ones that I have here. I think next, if I can find it, is going to be Dune or Forbidden Planet. But if I can't find either of those, we're going to do... Let's see. We will do... If I can't find Dune or Forbidden Planet, we'll do Total Recall next. So with that, you guys have a good night. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And just remember, guys, the Force is family. And the movie fell. See you guys later.